I'm a huge fan of the Properties palette. I typically keep it open all the time. You can toggle it on and off by pressing Control and 1 at the same time. This is the Properties palette. Now, when I select something, like this line, for example, the Properties palette gives me all of the information for that line. It's very useful. Now, sometimes you need some information and you just need a little bit of information about that object. Well, you can use what's called the Quick Properties palette. This palette displays a brief amount of information about your selected object, like that line. Well, you can turn the Properties palette off and on by going to your status bar. That's down here, and you find the Quick Properties. Mine's turned off. If I select this button, it turns blue, and now it's turned on. Now, if you don't see this button in your status bar, that's fine. Go all the way to the bottom right to the customization icon, left click on it, go through the lists, you can scroll up and down until you find the Quick Properties palette. That's right here. It should have a check mark by it. You'll see when I click it, it turns on or goes away, depending. So put a check mark by it, that'll turn it on. So now that you have that turned on and you select that line, you'll get this guy right here. This is the Quick Properties palette. It tells you the selected object, tells you what kind of object it is, and gives you some very basic information: the color, the layer, the line type, and the overall length. Now, if you have multiple objects selected, that'll tell you how many you have and some of the basic items that they all have in common, like color and layer. I can click on this box here and get to all of the lines, and it will tell me that information, the hatch object, and so on and so forth. So if you want to keep your Properties palette off, but you want to have Properties palette-like information available to you, you can turn this on. Of course, it works like a regular palette, so you can move it around, close it. When you close it and you select another object, the thing's going to come back. Or if you unselect an object, it'll go away. Now, you can also control what is being displayed inside your Quick Properties palette. You can do that a couple of different ways. Select an object or two and click on this CUI button, the Customize. Or you can just type CUI on the command line and bring yourself to the Custom User Interface Control Center. Once you go to the CUI, you want to make sure you're in the Quick Properties options right here, and it will give you two columns here all the way in the right column. One is for a 2D polyline, 3D, etc. It goes through all the different types of objects that you can select. So if we just pick on a circle, something very simple, very basic, what you see on the right are the options that can be displayed. Whatever has a check mark by it is what's going to be shown. So you can turn off any of these items that you want: circumference, diameter, radius. Maybe you don't need radius and diameter because it's very simple to figure out one from the other. So you could turn that off. Maybe you don't want to know its exact location, and so on and so forth. Click apply, click OK. And now when you go and select a circle, it'll give you that information. So that's just another way that you can interface with your objects in your drawings, and you can control how that interface behaves or looks.